Welcome, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Today, we're joined with CRISTINA SCABBIA of Lacuna Coil. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I had a day full of interviews,
Mhm.
and then I stopped, by my
Mhm.
community on Twitch playing a little bit of Silent Hill 2, so I'm
Oh,
all
sick.
like hyped up.
Right, because you stream like you very frequently. You stream like once a week, right, or something like that.
Not very frequently, but
Mhm.
whenever I can.
Mhm.
I don't have a schedule because I can't.
Mhm.
I'm not able to.
Mhm.
I have too many things scattered in my
Yeah.
life. So, but whenever I can, whenever I have some free time, I just like to catch up
Mhm.
and talk a bit or play online. It's
Yeah.
fun. I
Yeah,
like it.
it's such a fun random medium that I'm glad a lot of musicians got to kind of get into, especially like during 2020 when like there was nothing else to do. So everyone was like, well, let's go and stream, I guess. Because it's you get that real-time interaction, which is it's just exciting. It's fun, and you get to talk with people and kind of shit talk. And I think a lot of people won't expect when like you're talking with them and you're like, oh wow, like this is right. This musician or like YouTuber or whatever that I've seen like actually like is a person. Like it's human interaction in like a weird
Absolutely. I
internet
love the
way.
fact that it's live.
Yeah,
So there's no filter, there's
hmm,
no editing. So whatever you say, it's there.
it's
So
there.
even if you fuck up, it's there.
Exactly. Yeah. How was when did you get into was it 2020 that you came into streaming with
It
everyone
was in
else or was
2020,
okay.
yes. But basically, my boyfriend was like, Why don't you open a channel on Twitch?" And it was not very common for musicians
Yeah.
back then. So I was like, "Well, I already had a different channel that I would use to just watch other gamers
Hmm.
because I like video games, but I never thought about doing my own channel. I thought that it was." I don't know, weird. And then I didn't have any type of equipment. My
Hmm.
first lives were really raw and
Hmm.
they were they were terrible, but if I look back, it was magical because I would use my phone. Basically, I was let's say there was a presentation from some brand. There was, I don't know, the PlayStation
Right, right.
presentation of news. I was filming the TV from YouTube, and
It's
then I would
amazing.
rotate the phone towards me to comment what I was seeing. It
Right.
was very basic, but heartfelt.
Hmm. It's like OG YouTube type of stuff, which I kind of miss. I'm almost sad that everyone has really good equipment now because it
I
loses a bit
know.
of that like raw. I mean, like get up, not your phone back in the day, but I don't know what people had, like a little pocket something, and they would snap that on and just film something hilarious in like really short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
it
yeah.
was real, it was genuine, and it
Mhm.
was just like I want to do it. I mean, I don't have a lot of things, but I'll make it work
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah. Now everyone has, and that's the cool thing too. Like I'm surprised when actually musicians come on the stream too, and they're like they have a full setup, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I'm like, I'm used to like, okay, we're gonna get on the phone, get this sorted. It's gonna be 360p, perfect. Try to make it work. But I mean, you even got the gaming chair. Like you're set. You're good to go.
Yeah, well, I am not that professional. I have to be
Okay.
honest. I mean, I have the gaming chair, and I
Mhm.
have to thank for this charismatic voice, who
Oh,
is,
Elizabeth. Yeah.
Elizabeth is such an amazing human being.
Mhm.
And we did an interview, and she was just like, you know what? I can put you in touch with Secret Lab because I think that, you're a gamer, you like
Yeah.
Diablo. So this is actually
Mhm.
a Lilith Diablo 4
Oh,
chair,
sick.
and I
Mhm.
love it. But I also have like other stuff, like you don't see it, but I have an Iron Maiden hair chair
Oh,
that
sick.
it's pretty cool as well.
Have you
I love gaming chairs.
have you still been grinding Diablo 4 at all since I
Well, there is a new update
mm,
now, but I still have to do it. But I'm not a pro at all. I mean,
mm,
I'm a genuine lover of video games,
mm,
but I enjoy the journey. I am
right.
not just like aiming for crazy gameplays under 20 seconds. I am just like
Yeah.
enjoying games and
Mm,
single player. I'm
right.
not in competition. I don't like games in which you have to be in competitions with other.
Right.
Also because I would suck, so nobody would want me in the team, regardless.
Well, there's kids now. That's the thing. I came up I think still in the generation where like you went outside. Like that was part of, being a kid at some point. And then it was like, okay, the internet creeped in and then gaming was a big thing. But like now it's like kids are, I don't know, they're like 11 and they're like pro at Fortnite. I don't get it.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy
Oh yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
reach into that.
absolutely. There
Way
will
too
be a
good.
5 years old kicking your ass and you will be like, whatever,
Yeah,
breaking
it's so,
cat.
everyone's too good at games now. It's like discouraging. I remember like yeah, you would play and you're like, all right, like this is fun, even if it's a little competitive. Like I got a chance. Like you can do your thing. You don't have to take it too seriously. And now it's like I don't know what games you're playing now. If it's like a COD or a Diablo or whatnot, it's like you go in there and it's just like unless I've been playing already for like a month, like it's not happening. Like I can't. It's I am not competing or keeping up with these people who are like 9 years old for sure that
Exactly.
are kicking my ass nonstop
Yeah.
at this, which
Yeah,
is
that's why I prefer like single player, so I don't have a schedule, or
right.
I can play whenever I want. I can play for half an hour, I can play for 5 hours, but at
Mm.
least it's up to me.
Yeah.
And I like to follow stories as well. I don't
Mm.
want to get stressed with a video game.
Yeah.
I am, stressed with many things to deal with all my life
Right.
that I just want to relax with video games. Well, not relaxing all the times, with games like Silent Hill is not that you're relaxing because
That's I
they're
was about
still
to say.
pretty like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
But at least it's up to me. I want to just to be the only one
Mm.
that has to deal with it.
Have you played many other like I haven't played Silent Hill specifically, but I know it's kind of like a shooter story horror game if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it's a survival game,
Right.
but it's really creepy. I love Resident Evil as
Okay.
well.
Right.
It's one of my top game. I always talk about the very first one that came out
Mm.
as my favorite one. So because I remember the feeling that I remember how I felt when I played for the first time. So I
Mhm.
know that the new ones are better. They have a better graphic,
Mm.
but I think that nothing can replace the vibe of the first time that I played. So
Yeah.
that was Silent Hill, the first one, and the first Resident Evil, the complete silence when you enter the house,
It's
small moments that
mhm.
made me shit in my pants. Excuse me for my French.
Yeah, on we sometimes on stream, and I got to do it again during spooky season. I think we've played horror games very faintly, but we played Outlast, and that was Outlast, and then also I think we played I think we played Resident Evil, the one where it was I was gonna say in the house. Yeah, that's really descriptive. The one in the house. We played one of them on stream. I don't know if chat. I think
Maybe a
Biohazard.
remake,
I think it
maybe
was
a remake of the first one.
might. Oh, and we played. Oh yeah, Poppy Playtime. That was not. That was way too scary for like just
Now
late
there are
night.
many, many, many like horror games. There
Mhm.
are so
Yeah,
many, especially on Steam. There are many
yeah.
like indie games that
Well,
are so well done in
Steam's
which
the
you're
best
playing.
because you have when the holiday sales come, it's like addictive. You're like you just feel like a absolute baller because you're coming up there and you're like everything is 80% off and you're just like I want this one. I'm never going to even install this game, but I want that game too.
But I want that one as well.
Yes.
At least you have, like a bunch of games
Mm.
to choose from.
And they're all 100 gigs, so you can only install like 10 at a time before your computer just absolutely explodes, which is always super fun. But yeah, no, it's when it comes to gaming, I guess. Did you have any like kind of OG games that you grew up? I know you said Resident Evil that you were like super addicted to games that like you couldn't like stop playing.
Well, when I was an adolescent or so, when I got my first PlayStation,
Okay.
definitely, Resident Evil and Silent Hill,
Mm.
but probably the one that I fell in love the most was Final Fantasy VII.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Prior to that, I had, Game Boy. I played with Atari
Hmm.
2700. Um, and I played Pitfall was the very first game I played with. And I still remember that I liked it a lot. But Final Fantasy is the one that owns my heart.
That one. Yeah, that Final Fantasy. They're still going, I think, too, right? Like that series
It's
has been
still going. It's still
insane.
going, and that they released the 16. They did something in between as well.
Hmm.
There's the online.
Hmm.
They did Crisis Core. They did
Okay.
different things.
Yeah, they have a whole. I know they have the MMO, and my life got ruined by WoW instead of Final Fantasy, unfortunately. And
Okay.
that's a much worse addiction, I think, to that game.
Yeah, you need to spend a lot of time. Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's the thing. I mean, at least Final Fantasy, I mean, there are some like for Final Fantasy 7, I mean, you can explore forever
Hmm.
and just like keep on exploring, but at least there's an ending of, to the story.
Right.
Warcraft, it's forever. You
It's
have to
forever.
spend hours,
Yeah.
countless hours,
Hmm.
and I can't. I can't. I actually found out that there is an NPC inspired by me with
Really?
my name. There is an area in Shadowlands.
Okay. New
In
lore here.
Shadowlands, there is a metal area in which there are few characters
Hmm.
inspired by the metal world. So there is an NPC called Chiara Coil. Chiara is my third name, and Coil from
Okay.
from from Lacuna Coil.
Hmm.
Uh, but there are also other characters. I know that there is a singer of Amon Amarth, but I don't
Hmm.
remember. It's an area called Maldraxxus.
Yep. Yep. A shadow. I
So
played through
if you go
Shadowlands.
there,
Oh
you will
yeah.
find some. I know that I am an humanoid,
A
a
human.
humanoid. I
Okay.
don't know about the other characters, about
Hmm.
the NPCs, but I found it out when the game
Oh,
was
that's
out
so
already,
cool.
and some fans were just like, "Hey, I talked to you in a game." It's like, what?
That must
What do
be
you
the
mean?
creepiest first interaction. Just like a random
Exactly. Not
Instagram,
like,
like,
no, it wasn't me. I was
yeah.
already thinking about someone faking being me, just like
Yeah.
chatting, within the game. And she
Mm.
was like, no, no, really, you're an NPC. What?
That's the greatest intro. Well, that's so yeah. Well, WoW is its own Jesus. Did you? I don't know if you played or got into. Did you go to back to the vanilla hype when they brought it back with the going back to
No,
classic?
no, but my boyfriend is a huge player. I mean, he
Okay.
has all the official, like, original.
Oh, he's got the
Uh,
like the actual
oh
boxes.
yeah, he's a
Okay.
collector too, so he has many. I got Lich King,
Hmm.
the sealed one for him for his birthday.
Oh.
He's a player. He's really good. He's actually a great tank.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Yes, tanks are important because they hopefully.
Yes, I don't
Yes.
know. I honestly don't know because I go crazy. Like when I see the Scream and I see all the raids and stuff, I'm like, how can you be able to
Yes.
look at everything
Hmm.
and all I see is just like
Yep.
what
Keybinds
without even
memorized.
moving, and I'm like,
Yup.
what?
100%. Well, speaking
No.
of games, obviously you have done awesome collaborations with another game that also I've actually had fun playing on stream, Metal Hellsinger, which is
Yes.
that game came out of nowhere even for me because obviously there's always like Guitar Hero and all this stuff, and then there's been like Doom, and then someone was saying this game Metal Hellsinger was coming up, which is like you're shooting on the beat, and that was the
Yes, it's a
crazy
rhythm
concept.
and shoot, a rhythm shooter. I don't know
Yeah.
how you would name him specifically.
Yeah, I don't think there's a proper name for it anyway.
There
It's
is
just
actually, there
is there?
is, but I don't remember if it's a rhythm and shoot. It's something like this, like
Hmm.
this. I don't want to say the wrong one, but it's
Oh wow!
kind of
How
sounds
did
like this.
that collaboration, I guess, come about? Because that's also such a sick track. I knew it also blew up like on YouTube and stuff. And it's
Yes,
yeah.
yes. There was already the game out
Hmm.
with many singers singing a song. Also, Randy Blythe of Lamb of God
Yep.
was in there as well. My friends Alyssa and Tatiana from Arch Enemy and Ginger. And then they decided to release a DLC because the game was pretty successful,
Yeah.
and they thought about Will Ramos and I for
Hmm.
two new singers to add in the game. And I sung my song, and
Yeah.
that's how I ended up in the game, through
Gotcha.
the DLC.
Oh,
But
that's
it was
sick.
pretty cool. They just asked me to do it, and I was very happy to do it because, of course, I
Hmm.
love video games, and I was honored, to be in the bunch
Hmm.
of the choices.
Right. That must
And
be so.
coming out with Will was also cool, to see our picture because I respect him a lot
Will is
and see.
crazy.
He's
he's
yes, he's
that
awesome.
that dude. He's also one of like the nicest dude. He has this weird golden retriever energy, is the best way I
Mhm.
can put it. And then he does the vocal things, and you're like, damn,
Yes.
dude, that's
Isn't
crazy.
it for many metalheads? I mean, all the
Yeah.
metalheads that I know are all teddy bears. So they're super sweet.
Yeah.
Think about Randy as well.
Yeah.
Randy of Lamb of God is the sweetest guy, the funniest guy, the most sarcastic. I mean, I love him to bits. And then he goes on stage and he's like, whoa.
1 second. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's yeah. Will is crazy, but yeah, that whole collaboration is very fun. That must be very entertaining having like a song that involved you, and then if you play the game, like it comes on, like you must get a little bit like of a boost of like, okay, now I can't fuck it up now. Like this is the moment. This track is rolling. It's like I'd feel like it's the same if like Herman Lee played Guitar Hero and had to play through the fire and flames. Like it's just you got to go through it. You probably get so hyped.
It's weird because I mean we were on Guitar Hero as well. We also were on Rockstar.
Are you on Rockstar?
And funny story, I think the song was either Our Truth or Swamped. I don't remember right now because it was years ago. And I remember this guy who sent me a whole video of him doing a 100% on the vocal line.
Oh wow.
The vocal line that I wrote and that I usually perform. And I did like when we did a trial because we did I don't know, we did some filming that we put online. I got 80% because I didn't realize that you had to be really precise on the note and without any vibrato or any feeling into it.
Yeah.
And I remember that this guy just like sent me the old video of like, I got 100%. And I was like,
I can't imagine how many people send Herman Lee expert 100% on Guitar Hero 2 at that point. Like that must be absolutely ridiculous.
And it's difficult.
It's
so
hard.
difficult because it's not like playing guitar. It's completely different.
Yeah, no, it's so funny because when I started on Guitar Hero first. I was like, this is kind of cool. I'm gonna go play guitar, and then 20 years later, I'm now instead doing random metal things on the internet. But like
See?
that, the buttons do not correlate at all or make you better at guitar in any way. And then if you do play guitar, the buttons are still way harder, and you being good at guitar doesn't help you play Guitar Hero either. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, man. It's too hard. It's way too hard to go through.
It's true.
And then the Rock Band, I remember that came out. Oh my god, the 2000s were much better, Christina. What happened? The 2000s were a vibe.
There are many things from the 2000s and the 90s that I really miss. I mean, I'm not that person that will tell you, oh, it was much better in the past because good and bad, are happening in every year, in every decade. But back then, I don't know, there was something magic. Maybe less connections meant more connections.
Yeah.
I mean, now we're more connected than ever, but at the same time, we're a lot disconnected with each other.
That was the
Back
going
then,
outside
if
times.
you were playing music, if you were playing video games, it was really because you had a passion for it. It was not because you wanted to show something to others.
Yeah.
It was
now it's
because
a job too, so now kids are growing up and they're like, I'm going to literally be the best Fortnite player in the world because I'm going to make millions. And that's what no one went out in 2005 was like, I'm going to be the best Halo player so I can have a mansion.
1000%. Just look at, I mean, it's not video games related, but think about Pokemon cards. Now you see lines of people just trying to buy, boxes in hope to pull out, a card that worth so much money.
They sold those at Costco.
If you look at the cards that we had when we were kids, they're destroyed because people were playing with them.
Yeah, oh my god, if only I remembered where my Yu-Gi-Oh deck was. Fuck, that's some money right there. I have no idea.
I have many friends that are just like, no, I have a perfect Charizard, but it's destroyed.
It's the 90s 2000 era. That's our locked
now
away
it's like,
Bitcoin.
The corner is not perfect. The print is not perfect. Let's put it in plastic already.
Yeah.
And I like cards as well, so I put them in plastic as well.
That must be similar to a feeling. It's at much less price of like the people that forget their Bitcoin wallets that like invested at first and they're like, oh wow, and they just forget and they have millions of dollars in there and you're like, yeah, man.
Yes.
That's what happens. The Yu-Gi-Oh cards are gone too. The Pokemon card, your mint Charizard is gone. I'm sorry, dude. It is what it is.
Oh yeah. Have you read the news of that guy who lost the hard disk with a lot of Bitcoins in
They're so
lost? Well, that has been thrown away. I was like, I'm not
There's
sure if it's a real story, but if it is,
yeah.
uh,
That's I don't know how you come back. At that point, you're just like, I think maybe just pretend you're a millionaire. Like, what else can you do to cope? You just have to pretend you're like, I am a millionaire.
well, I
It's just
have
not
them,
here.
but they are in a bank,
Yeah,
and you will never see
it's
them.
it's in a CD bank somewhere. Well, I don't know. Like it's somewhere in some capacity. So, yeah, the 2000s. It's crazy because the 2000s now is more popular than it was in the 2000s. Because like when it comes to music, when it comes to like you said collectibles, kind of like cards and all of that, like so many kids back then, oh my god, if they remembered that or knew that that was going to be a thing, like everything would have been kept nice and neatly mint and like
Absolutely.
respected.
Absolutely.
New metal would have been more respected because now it's like the biggest thing again ever. Like it's so crazy to see the times kind of go by, even just video games and things like that.
Even
Like
if you really have a passion, you know exactly that you will never get rid of the stuff that you have.
yeah.
Even if it's pristine, even if it's perfectly, preserved,
Mhm.
you're not going to sell it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lie that you tell yourself because every time I get something that I like,
Right.
in the nerd world where there is a special edition of a video game or a figure, I'm like, oh, this is an investment. That's the phrase that you
Yeah.
tell yourself
That you tell
to
yourself.
trick yourself because you know exactly that they're going to bury you with that thing. You're not doing it to
Right.
resell it. Because
Mm.
true resellers are the ones that don't give a shit
Yeah.
about that stuff. They
Yeah.
don't care about
Hmm.
collector items. They're just
Yeah.
like, okay, let's buy them so we can resell them.
Well,
Or
at least it's
some of them
physical.
are buying twice the same thing so they can sell one and keep one.
Yeah. Right. Well, at least it's physical because now there's so much digital collector stuff nowadays. Like in games that you're just like, oh man, like this is a I don't know. It's just like you're my character in a game, and like it's worth probably like $1,000 because I've grinded everything. But
I'm
like,
too old school for that. I gotta be honest. I mean, I never understood NFTs as well
oh, that I've
because
never.
I like to own art. I like
Yeah.
to have something that I can touch, that I can keep in my house, that I can display.
Yeah.
But I would never have a frame with a digital art that I paid
You can take a
a lot of money
you could take
for.
a put your phone on display and just put the digital art right there, and then it's perfectly there. You go.
That could
That's
be that could
2025
be an
art.
idea.
Yeah.
That could
That's
be an
what
idea.
well, Christine, we're talking about the 2000s, obviously, and of course, this
Mhm.
is it comes to the point where I have to ask, oh my God, Lacuna Coil has been going. I just realized today, actually, when I was kind of checking up on things, is it 30 years the Lacuna Coil has been going?
Uh, the first EP came out in 98. We've been knowing each other since 93.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
It's been a couple.
But it doesn't feel like, I mean, of course, it feels like on a
Right,
friendship perspective because they are my family.
right.
Uh, I've been knowing especially Andrea and Maki for many years.
Mhm.
But on the other side, it feels like we started the band only a few years ago.
Right.
We still have the same passion. We don't feel that we've been doing it for so long before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe because we always stayed curious and without even trying to evolve, we always did it.
Mm-hmm.
But just because we like, to be to look at the present.
Mm-hmm.
What's been done, it's been done, and it's fine. But we look at the present. We don't even look at the future. We want our music to represent who we are. And maybe the fact that we are so open to new things, we're always listening to new music. We
Right.
always are, we're always very curious about what happens around us. So we've been able to kind of, I don't know, to be at the same
Mm-hmm.
time of the current times, if it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Well, I mean, just in general, to be a band for that long, I give mad respect to any band because most bands would tear each other apart. Like most
Yeah, I
humans,
know.
for
That is true.
like
That is true. I
beating
think
on
it's
tour. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because of many reasons. You might be tired of touring,
Yeah.
because I mean it's not easy, with writing a record. If you're a professional musician, you have the whole package. That
Mm.
means commit yourself, even traveling around the world, leaving your family and friends behind
Mhm.
sometimes, and for months. So it's not for everyone. It's not easy to tour. Some members give up, or there might be, I don't know, too much ego within the band or
Right.
problems within the band. I don't know if I could be able to stay in a band if we were not friends.
Yeah. You have to. They're your I mean, it's family at that point. When you're
Yeah.
in every day on tour, you deal with each other. Everyone's dealing with each
It
other.
would be horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
even if I had the chance to bring my family with me, it would be horrible for me to think about I'm gonna meet these people on stage only. That would
Yeah.
be like, ooh, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
That's not. So that's so cool that you guys again just been going for so long. Congratulations, by the way. That's
Thank
like
you.
a huge. That's a
Thank you.
huge feat.
Obviously, we had
Yeah.
changes here and there,
Yeah.
but I mean, we're still here doing what we love.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Well, what was kind of, I guess, in your perspective, I guess the big breakout for you guys was it Karma Code or was it
No, it was actually with Common Lies.
Karma? Oh,
And
okay.
it was 2 years after because Common Lies came out in 2002,
2002. Yes. Okay.
2002, and we did Ozfest in 2004,
Mm,
which changed the game because we
mm,
got a lot of attention from the States, and getting more recognition in the States gave us more recognition
mm.
in Europe.
Right.
So 2 years after the album just like went whoop,
Right.
because we were played in radio stations, we were invited on TV shows,
Oh wow.
and we came back, and everybody was just like, oh, I mean, if you did something in the States, that means that, ooh, that
now,
you're
now
special.
you're
So we got
cool.
a different
Yeah.
attention, and we started to produce videos, which we never really did before this,
Okay. That makes sense.
and
How
everything changed from there.
what did like yeah, how did you guys, I guess you guys must have stood out so much because again I was like I don't know 8 at that point or something, but like at that point I would imagine during those times like you guys probably stood out amongst the crowd too because there's obviously the bands doing new metal, there's the new wave of heavy metal, everyone's doing metalcore and stuff, and you guys are doing this really cool like symphonic elements with almost your vocals. I don't know if you describe them as like operatic, but like just like that contrast with like again the screaming like that was something super unique during that time, at least I
Yeah,
would say.
definitely not operatic because
Mm,
I mean, I'm not singing in a lyrical way. I'm
mm,
actually coming from a completely different world because when I started singing, and without the intention of doing
mm.
something professionally, I always loved to sing, but I had no interest in becoming a professional singer
Oh, okay.
or a rock star. It wasn't a dream that I had
Hmm.
as a girl, but I kept on singing because looks like life was just like kicking me in that direction. So I started to sing with friends of mine that were DJing. So I was
Okay.
going to dance clubs. I was doing some R&B stuff for
Mm,
them. They were producing records, and they would ask me to sing because they knew that I liked to sing and I was pretty good.
hmm.
And then when I met the guys in Lacuna Coil, I totally switched because I found out that I really liked metal music, which I never encountered before
was
because I was listening to something different.
was Lacuna Coil the
Eh,
first like actual metal you guys listened to, or was it something else that
no,
also?
I met the guys in a metal pub in Milano that is not existing
Oh,
anymore,
gotcha.
and I fell in love, with metal music, and I was mesmerized by
Hmm.
by the darker bands like Typo Negative, Paradise Lost,
Oh,
but
cool.
also Pantera, Metallica,
Right.
Clawfinger. I remember Clawfinger were big, uh, and I fell in love with it.
Hmm.
And plus, the guys were lovely, and I was loving to hang out with them, and I was just like, if I was in a band, with people that I like, with the
Right.
music that I just discovered that I love, I think I can do that. And
Right.
then we started, there to work together, and I just entered what was a local band with very few experiences.
Hmm. A local, yeah, that's a long way since local band days. Oh my god.
Absolutely. But we've never been a local band as Lacuna Coil
Mhm.
because we started to tour. We had the chance to be projected on the road in Europe
Right.
in even before the first EP came out.
Hmm.
Because the first EP came out in 98 and in 97, December 97, we were on tour with Mooseville
Oh my
in
god.
Europe with zero experience. I remember I was super shy. I was hiding myself behind,
Hmm.
the stand of the microphone because I wanted to sing, but I didn't want to show myself.
Right, right.
I felt very awkward on stage.
Wow. And then yeah, oh my god, over 20 years later, and you guys are you guys have also been very like consistent. Like I said, like you said, you guys evolve, which is great. And I think you guys also your sound is always Lacuna Coil, and I don't know how to describe that. It just sounds like
Me
Lacuna
neither.
Coil. And you guys again,
I don't know either.
yeah, like vocally, you guys blend so well between the screaming mixture and obviously the clean song mixture, and then like these kind of symphonic elements and these big riffs and huge chorus moments, which is always sick. But you guys keep evolving, and especially these last few singles, which some of them I think featured. I think you got a feature from Randy on one of these, and
Yes,
then
we have
also
one featuring Randy and one featuring Ash Costello of New Year's Day.
yeah, that's geez, that's a journey coming from
It
the
is a journey.
local band going around. But like with all of that, I guess has your perspective on the band, like how has that grown, I guess, over all those years, like starting from the local band now to like where you guys are at. We're even in I know in the core community, which I don't know how much the core overlaps with Lacuna Coil, but no matter what, even posting and talking about Lacuna Coil, everyone's like, oh yeah, I know Lacuna Coil. Like everyone has heard of Lacuna Coil at least, which is crazy nowadays to see.
Yeah, probably many have heard Lacuna Coil of the past, and they don't really know how we evolved
Mm,
and grew in our career. For sure, when I look back, I'm surprised because I'm like, wow, I would have never think that we would still be here after so long because it was an ultimate dream to even get out of Italy when we started.
mm,
Now things changed for everything, for
yeah,
music in general, and
yeah,
and we had amazing opportunities. We had the most incredible journey
mm,
because through ups and downs we always enjoyed what we did.
mm,
We loved everything that we've been able to accomplish. We accomplished things that, especially for Italy, were insane, were absolutely crazy.
Is there much of
And
is there a big Italian metal scene?
there is a metal scene, but it's not big.
Mm,
Italy is very conservative,
mm,
and there is not space in the mainstream for metal music, which is
gotcha.
a thing that makes me really sad because I think that every kind of music deserves the same opportunity of presentation. Then you
Hmm.
pick up what you
Right.
like. But for example, when we tour the States, I can get in a grocery store and hear Slayer all of a sudden. Here in
Yeah.
Italy, would never ever happen. You only
Really?
listen to
Mm,
traditional Italian music,
mm-hmm.
maybe more modern ones as well. There is a lot of trap music and hip hop, but
Mm,
sung in Italian. And of course, the big commercial acts, you
right.
know, Taylor Swift or
Yeah.
other acts like this, Lady Gaga, Madonna, whatever.
Right. That makes sense. Oh, were you on The Voice Italy? Is it called The Voice or The Voice of Italy? I don't know.
Yes, I was one of the judges in 2018.
Okay, in 20 because the Voice is, I mean, American Idol. It's like for people that know, it's I don't know, it's American Idol, but The Voice. It's the other version. It's a kind of more fun version, and you don't have Simon Cowell just being mean to you for no reason version of it. And I think I think most countries kind of have their own version of that. So I didn't
Yes.
know there was actually before. I think I saw it a few years ago, The Voice Italy, until I saw a headline actually that you were on. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, how is that dynamic, obviously, of being on a show that is a like mainstream type of show coming from obviously
I
that,
was
yeah.
very curious when they asked me. I was super surprised because I was like, how do you even know who I am? Because you know, of course,
Mm,
in the music business, I know many people, even not metal one,
right.
but I found it really surprising that they thought about a metal singer not in the spot to
Yeah.
be one of the judges. I found out because some people from the production invited me for dinner together with my manager. She didn't tell me anything. She said like, "Hey, there are some people that want to meet you," and I was like, "Okay, let's go." You know, I'm always up for
Yeah.
dinner with friends and their friends. And I remember that I sat on this table, on this round table,
Hmm.
talking with these people about music, about life in general. And all of a sudden, they just looked at me and just like, "What do you think about becoming a judge on the next The Voice?" And I was like, "Huh? Huh?" Because we were talking about
Right.
something else. So they were basically checking out how I was,
Right.
I don't know.
The
They were
vibe
just like
check.
it was a sort of how do you call it in English? It was a sort of an interview before you get the job.
Yeah. Because most of the
And
content on shows like that is definitely like the judge has to be entertaining. Like it has to be, they have to be naturally entertaining, obviously have like a good background and understand what they're talking about. But if there's a judge there that's just sitting there boring, no personality, like no one's gonna watch the show. Yeah.
probably yes, but it's also different to work on TV because once the camera starts, you might freeze in a way
Right.
because even if it's a recorded TV show minus the final was live. I remember everybody was just like shocked, and the day after, I saw a lot of articles just because I had the audacity to mention when you have your period.
Oh, okay.
Because I was just like saying, "Oh, don't bother me. I'm nervous because I'm close to my period." And
Right.
everybody was like, "Whoa, nobody
Really?
ever said that on TV." And I was like, "What?"
That's
This is like,
okay. That's so.
and I know I remember like big titles in the news about this, but that was weird. My main point was to see how it was really working. And that's another
Right.
reason why I accepted to do that. I knew that the metal community in Italy uh, is very often is very conservative. So
Right.
I knew that I would have get some criticisms like, "Oh, okay, she's a sellout because she went to a TV show with a talent show." But on the other side, I
Yeah.
wanted to see how it would be in the backstage if it was really piloted by someone from the
Right.
outside, if I could be really free to pick up who I wanted
Right. Right.
to push forward. I wanted to talk to these people that have big dreams of becoming a singer and find out why they wanted to do that. If it was for being successful or rich, or if they really loved what they were doing. And it was interesting to find myself to choose in between them and thinking about not only their talent but also are they going to be ready once they are going to be out of here. I remember having a conversation with one of the guys that were competing, and I was almost sure to pick up that person. And then when I started to talk, I found out that there was a lot of anxiety of,
Right.
"Oh my God, what's going to happen?" I saw like a huge amount of anxiety, and I didn't move forward that person because I understood that he would never be ready for
Right. Right.
what was coming after. So I was like, "Okay, you're not psychologically ready because the music business is not as easy as it seems."
Right.
And you have to be ready psychologically. You have to be ready to be like, "I don't care about what you say, I'm gonna
Yep.
go my way." And I picked up another person. So I felt this huge responsibility to make a choice, but
Yeah.
I have learned a lot. And I brought myself into the show. I chose my outfits. I didn't ask for an author. And that makes me really proud because I brought myself into it. I've been able to bring a couple of metal songs. I brought a Manowar song and a
That's
Judas
sick.
Priest song, which nobody has ever done this before.
Wow.
So in the end, the metal community was just like, "You know what?
That's that.
You wear yourself,
Yeah.
and we appreciate that."
Yeah, and that's a win in anytime stuff like that happens. That stuff we always try to celebrate here too. Is like anytime metal infiltrates kind of the mainstream world, especially in ways like that, and there's people willing to do that because it's not easy. As you mentioned, you're gonna have to deal with people being annoying. You also like you're gonna have to deal with contestants that are obviously probably all very emotional, and then like then you have to sit there and be like the person that's like, I'm your dream is gonna happen or yours is not, and that's a lot
Yeah,
of pressure to put on a person that wants to
it's a
do cool
lot
metal
of
stuff.
pressure for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
And I mean, it's cool to see that that's happening more and more and more and more metal musicians, I think, are willing to do that. And I think also the mainstream's like willing to accept it. I mean, obviously, like what was it, 2024 with like Gojira at the Olympics, or like Knocked Loose did Kimmel and did like a pig squeal. Like that's so cool to see that that's happening more and more. And again, it's people like yourself that are making it, I think, so the mainstream has more confidence in the metal scene to be able to do that. And also the musicians, I think, have more confidence to not be as scared because people have tread those waters before in various ways. And it's, kind of paved the path of like, guys, just go and push this, go, get out there and do cool shit. Cause if not, it's not going to happen. And then we're going to be stuck with not metal music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are still a lot of prejudices about metal, especially in Italy. Many people think that metal is just noise, or metal has to be connected with Satanism,
Really? Still?
or it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but they don't know better. It seems that people are scared about distorted guitars for some reason
Wait until the
that I
distorted
don't
vocals happen.
understand.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lack of music culture in a way, because I can tell that many kids are playing video games that have a soundtrack that it's clearly metal, and they have
Yeah.
no idea that it's metal. So there is space for it. And,
Right.
they love it. Oh, I love the soundtrack, but yeah, it's metal. Oh no, it's not metal. That's not metal, because they have a
Right.
an old idea in the old cliche of metal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's I know when it came to soundtracks, I don't know if you played Doom or listened to Mick Gordon much, but I know that was like a
Oh yeah.
big
Oh yeah, Doom Eternal is one of my favorite soundtracks ever.
yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. And that was, I think, a huge turning point for a lot of, I mean, metal musicians, but of course also like mainstream people that were like, this rips. I don't know what this is at all. I just want to kill demons, but like this soundtrack goes hard, and I don't know what gent is or low tune guitars or any of these words are, but like this is cool. And then it took, I think, a while for the metal community even to be like, oh, this guy just did like a massive favor for like all of the community by making this soundtrack and making it so this music got heard that much. Whereas even like, I think it's 2025, people are still kind of, at least in the modern metal sphere, you hear Mick Gordon, you hear like those types of guitars everywhere, and like synths now. Synths are, I mean, of course they were big in kind of the 2000s and 90s to some capacity, but now it's like just every single song has a synth layered in some capacity, whether it's layered with the guitar, whether it's in the background. There are synth electronics everywhere, thanks to, again, like just music, I think, going forward that way, and people becoming more open to doing that and varying it up. And yeah, that was a big thing thanks to video games.
Yes.
That made that happen, which is really sick to
Yeah.
hear. But yeah, it's cool to see that kind of come full circle, because I grew up a gamer as much as I did a musician, and by talking with you, I'm assuming you're kind of similar with that. And there's so much overlap. It's really crazy.
Oh, totally.
Every time.
Totally.
Even old school, like I don't know, Mega Man or like Castlevania soundtracks. Like,
Castlevania, I was thinking about Castlevania. I mean,
That's-
even with 8 bits, you could
The-
totally tell that it could be metal
Yeah.
songs. Like,
exactly. The 8-bit versions go super hard, by the way, still nowadays. And it's like now music's going backward, where like a lot of stuff's getting bit crushed and kind of made to sound 8-bit in like the really zoomery kind of scene. So it's kind of funny seeing it go back and forth. But oh yeah, Castlevania soundtracks, 100%. Those were metal dudes, even if they wanted to admit it or not. They like Beethoven, if he was alive nowadays, he would throw down some crazy shit in the metal scene, I think. Which would be super. Have you ever listened to, I ask every guest this now, you ever listened to the band Marar?
no.
So if you like classical music and you want to hear the most crazy modern version of that ever, Christina, and you want
Yeah.
your life
How do you spell it?
Mirar.
Okay. Okay.
If you just it's instrumental, but it's like I don't even know how to explain it. Vivaldi, Beethoven, if they got all the modern production and the craziest guitar sounds possible and did the Doom soundtrack for 2040, that's what that is.
You made me curious.
Yes,
I'm
there
gonna
you
check
go.
him out for
Right.
sure.
Yes. Besides that, Christina, it's been lovely talking with you again. You guys have been releasing singles for the brand new album Sleepless Empire, out February 14th. Guys, go check it out. Pre-save it, order it, and then order it again. Is there anything else you want to tell all the lovely people here? Whether it's updates, plans you guys got, or just in general plans you have, if it's in terms of, I don't know, streaming or cool collabs and stuff you could talk about. The floor is yours. Anything you want to share with people?
Speaking of games still, you can also find me on Call of Duty 6. I have a
Yes.
song in there. It's a collaboration with Kevin Sherwood and with the help of Maluka as well, with the amazing Maluka. And so you can find me there with a song called Something Beautiful in You. Destroy Something Beautiful. I have so much stuff in my mind now
Right.
that sometimes it's almost midnight here, so I'm almost
Yes.
also a
Also,
little tired. Because
Thank
I've
you
been
for staying up, by the way,
speaking
Christine.
for 10 hours straight.
Yes. Thank you, by
No,
the
no,
way.
it's my pleasure. I'm really, really honored, and I'm such a pleasure to be here with you and your community. And we just filmed a new video that will be coming out right before Valentine's Day, which is the release day of Sleepless Empire, of our new record. And the video will be very interesting because it's something different that what we usually do. And I am really curious to see what people will think about it because it has all the elements. I mean, there is the goth part, the dark part, but there is also a lot of fun and
Right.
a lot of stuff that we never did before. I cannot really explain right now or I would spoil it, but it will be out very soon.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody.
And thank you everyone for
Yes.
the support, for checking us out or
Perfect. Christina Scabbia, everybody. Lacuna Coil. Check out the new record. Follow Christina on Twitch and show the support. Christina, again, thank you so much. I know it's super late there, so thank you
Thank
again.
you, Nick. No,
for
don't worry.
coming.
Thank you for the invitation.
And
Bye
yes.
everyone.
Have a good night.
Fantastic